Yes, and it's Mr. Dr. Z once again. Okay, no, not really. It's just Raymond, or as you guys all know me as RayZ. I'm going to show you guys a critical skills unit test. I'm going to go over a few basics that you guys might want to take heed to in regards to this critical skills unit. Of course, you would want to have gone over this semester orientation. I'm going to go ahead and open up this. What is this called? The WOO for this semester, so you can see exactly where we're supposed to be as of today, 1/11/2016. Can't believe it's a new year. We're supposed to be on the critical skills, practice reading skills, comprehension, and analysis. This is the first, this is the first lesson of this critical skills unit. Tomorrow we're going to have class at 12:45. Make sure that you're there, and we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to start off by going here in window 1 and go to this critical skills practice. I'm just going to give you a little overview of what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to go over a few things out of every single one of these courses. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's one thing I have to say about the unit test. The first thing I would like to say is I hope that you're jotting down notes. No, look, I don't jot down notes either. So if you don't, man, just make sure you have some type of way of remembering all of this, writing down somewhere on WordPad or anything like that. Okay, so let's get started. Comprehension analysis. This is basically just about reading and making sure that you read over the passages before you go ahead and answer the questions. So let's just say that you have a passage that's 2 paragraphs long, and you go ahead and read that once, twice, maybe even 3 times. Make sure that you read the passage, not skim through, because you can have a passage that is 10 paragraphs long and you skim through and you miss the most important information, rather than you read it and you collect all the information, even though you only have one small question. And I'm going to show you a quick example because I really like examples. They could be very helpful for you guys also. And I'm going to pause this for a second so I can pull this up for you. Okay, so I'm back. I'm sorry. Alright, so let's say we have this passage. We have this long passage, and I'm just going to skim through. No, you're not going to skim through. We are going to actually read the entire passage, because there may be something very important information that is in one paragraph, and the next paragraph you need to go ahead and go through that paragraph also to pick up the rest of the information that you need. So let's just say we read this here. We read this from this point. I'm not going to really go through all this. I'm just going to give this example. So we read this. The question is, switch over here. Switch over here. What does the speaker talk about in the beginning of the essay? This is the reason why I usually read the question, and I'll read the passage so that I know exactly what I'm looking for. So that's an example right there for you to go ahead and go through. We're going to skip on to the next one, because I do think I have time on here. Let's see, we're going to skip over to the next one. This one's vocabulary and analysis. And vocabulary analysis, you basically just want to ensure that you use vivid words, interesting words, even if that means you have to go to the thesaurus or the dictionary to find some good words to use in your writing. As you notice in my writing, I use a lot of vivid and interesting words rather than and, she, and, he, and, you use comma, you use the semicolon, you use the colon, you use all of these grammar techniques to make sure that you are making your writing the best that you can. You don't want Miss Embry to be reading boring. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so let's see. And just make sure you go through, and that's what this next writing skills is going to be about. I keep saying reading skills, I don't know why. Just making sure you identify your errors. you go throughout your passage before you submit and look at the errors that you have and make sure that you review and revise before submitting. So let's say you have a passage like me. You have a passage like me. You have stuff in here like this. This is supposed to be a capital word, capital letter, and I don't know why I keep saying that. Capital letter because this is a proper noun. This is a person's name. This is a place. But spell check, we'll go ahead and change it. Let's just say we change it right quick. I'm going to review. We're just going to hit the spell check, spelling and grammar. Let's just say we change all. Change it to what they want.
Okay, but you can't just change CDs because it has to be downloaded.
So we just went through and went ahead and did the spell check. And of course, you see here, this changed. Also, you can see that the name RIP was changed. Well, not here. RIP was not changed here. But in different places throughout here, RIP has been changed to a regular RIP, as in you ripped your clothes. Or you just ripped a nice CD. It's been changed as that rather than it being a proper noun. Make sure you check before you, after you do the spelling check, that you go ahead and read your passage again just to make sure that the word did what it was supposed to do and not messing up what you wrote. So now we are going to, I think I went to the wrong page. I'm going to go to this last one, writing to a prompt. When you have a prompt to write to, you always want to read the prompt once, twice, even 3 times sometimes, because if you're not writing to the prompt, you're writing a few sentences, it's not going to be accepted, or it's going to take points off of your grade. So let's say, no wonder they didn't come up. Oh, they're still not coming up. Last semester we had some discussions. We have prompts to write to, and I saw that some of you guys just write a quick, either it was a rush response or it just was, I don't know, I don't really know how to describe it, but it wasn't exactly like full out thought. You guys would just make sure that you read the prompt and go through. Make sure that you are following the prompt, and make sure that you are checking the prompt every time you finish a passage or a paragraph. My fault, my words getting jumbled up. Can't even speak sometimes. Alright, and then last thing I want to touch on, because my time is almost up on here, is the critical skills unit test. In the test, I have noticed that the first few questions, and I'm not going to show you my answers, I will go in here, but I'm not showing my answers, that there are a few questions in here that require you to use some passages, but there are no passages for you to refer to. So that would have been, usually it would be the lesson before it, you would find it in here, but this lesson has an error, and I'm sure you guys have already contacted Ms. Embry about it, that the lesson won't load, or it gives you an error or whatever. I also contacted her, asked her about it. She said she would try to figure out what's wrong with it. As you can see, there's an error right here, page not found, even though it sure is in there. It's just a technical problem with K-12. You don't have to panic about that. You can always ask in the class tomorrow. As you can see right here, it says that you're going to need an excerpt from this story or poem, Great Expectations, but we don't have the unit test reading passages sheet. So bear with us, we'll figure this out, and thank you for watching.